Hello, my name is Gabriel N. Kong of the CM Fit Global Consulting for Medical, Pharmaceutical, and Innovative Technology. Good morning to many people around the world. Good evening, guten Tag, guten Morgen, guten Nacht to many fellow and peers that are listening around the world. As I aforementioned, as always, bonjour et bonsoir à tous les auditeurs à travers le monde entier. Now, for peace around the world, I would like to say shalom and shalom to my fellow friend with the divine blessing. Again, we will have fun today. I will be bringing new informations that I believe will be profitable and beneficial into the progress of this universe, of this earth. I am talking today not as a pastor, not as a priest, not as an imam or a rabbi. I am a simple, humble person, a true believer of the true God. Gabriel N. Khan. So, the title of this presentation today will be the higher civilization of the higher sphere. The higher civilization of the higher sphere. And this is time, the moment of the truth. This is the title that I use every single week to present new information about my company and also talking about the recognition of the higher intelligence. So it is called time, but this way I already done one verse of the times. The second one was the 666 against the 777, and then now the third one will be the time moment of truth. The world is unfolding into his predetermined destiny. The energy patterns in which the world is moving is according to the way it was programmed at the primordial thought during its initial creation. Everything that you see around the world spending static are based on the universal law of balance, which is an integral part of existence. As existence unfold as a process in time from a far distant past to a far distant future, we are all witnessing. Now, I am introducing the Almighty, the higher intelligence, the divine being, Elohim Yahweh, who created you and who created all mathematics, technology, engineering, and science. It is the sacred knowledge. As before, people have opened the Bible, open with respect the Quran, open the Torah, open any other holy book from the Buddhism's culture, religions, and from the Hindu religions. They have found one single sentence as a common denominator for peace. If all religion were created, inspired by the Holy Trinity, and have a common denominator. Do to other people what you want to be done into yourself. It means it is not about the religion. It is about the interpretation of the religion. The problem that we're having today is not the differentiation of religions. It's the differentiation on the interpretation of people. The war that you see that people are making is not about religion. It's about the interpretation of it. But I can prove you today that they are all the same. If all those religions, you go to every single religion that I mentioned earlier, you find out this golden rule: do to other what you want to be done into yourself. It is called golden rule for a reason. If it does exist in every single literature of those different religions, it means there's a common denominator. In some extent, if you start opening every single holy books, you'll find out that they're pretty much the same. As there we us are praying or looking for the same divine being. There's no two God. There's only one God, and He lives in a different dimension. He lives in a different sphere. The higher intelligence and the higher civilization. The Bible that you're reading, all books said earth was made like heaven. Everything that you possess, everything that you see also exists over there, but in a very higher advanced way. Do not think for some reason that you're enjoying life more than God. Yeah, I'm party. I got y'all. You come here, man. I got all the women around the world. You think that you're enjoying life more than God? Yeah, people are saying over there that God is sitting in His throne. He's isolated by Himself. That's why people are teaching into today. When you reading, earth was made as like in heaven. It's not only the prototype of religion. It is everything. Where you think that those beautiful women come from? No, they come from somewhere. They just arrived from evolution. Yeah. Maybe there are some other that are still getting created from evolution. You find them, you let me know. The point that I'm making here is that before you guys enjoyed your life, it was already done before this earth was created. It existed long somewhere else. But today I'm gonna try to open the mind of all believers from all religions around the world. Try to prove them that it is the same thing. It is the same God that we all looking at. Different names, different attribution, but it's the same person. I cannot say it is the same entity. I cannot say that I am a perfect being, but through my level, my spiritual level and spiritual gift, I believe that I know Him well, that I can talk here with no procrastination or no contempt into my perception. I am convinced with self-esteem that my illustration and my thorough elaborations today through this presentation are based on the truth from my inner heart and my inner self that I believe is right and truthful. Loyalty into my conscience. I do believe that the truth must be said, must be brought, so that people can find the contracts between what they've been believing in and what must be known, to add into what they already know, to make things more clear. Okay, so this is the point. The process has started. As there were Abraham, Noah, and Jacob, and Isaac, and Joseph from Egypt, and Moses, and Aaron's to Joshua, going up to Ruth, and all those people who came before us, up to David and Solomon, so going back into Jesus Christ, coming back here into this era. There's always been those kind of people in every single century. For Christian, Jesus Christ didn't come here only to save you. He didn't come here only to save you. He came here to prove the glory of God. I want to mention that to Christian today and to the entire world. Jesus Christ didn't come here in this earth only to save human beings. He came here to glorify God from the beginning of the sin between Adam and Eve. Let me be more limpid and crystal clear. He came here to show to the world, to the spiritual world, to the higher evil force, that the creation that God made of man was right. There was no mistake. That a man who resist into Lucifer, a man who do not fear death, a man who can endure suffering, can defeat Satan. That was the main purpose. It is an example that God has sent for us to follow, but we are interpreting that not clearly. Jesus Christ didn't come in this earth only to save us. He came to show the way. When he said, I came to show the way, I am the way, what he meant was, I am showing you an example on how to glorify the person who created you. That's what he meant. Many people say, he said, I am the way. Everybody who go to the Father have to go through me. Indeed, if you live the life of Jesus Christ, anything else will come. You don't have to worry about that. That's the argument. If you live the life of Jesus Christ like Peter Simon did, crucified upside down, every other apostle, they were all killed except John, who was saved for a purpose of disseminating the gospel. They were all died. They were all killed brutally. Why? Because when he was leaving earth, the way he's gonna return, he said to them, you go around the world, around all corners of this world, and disseminate, evangelize the people about the gospel. It means do what I did, regardless if you're gonna die or not. Carry the cross. He didn't say to them, when you do that, you'll be saved. No, he didn't say that. But by default, If you do what he said, you follow his example, you will be saved by default. You don't have to worry about that. If you glorify God Almighty who created you and sent you here, and prove, Lucifer, that you don't fear death, you don't fear intimidation, you do not fear suffering, that is the remedy against Satan. Many people don't know that. But the story of Jesus Christ clearly says that. The guy came here, he defeated death. He didn't fear death. He endured suffering. It is the only way to fight Lucifer. Let me go back in the beginning. I'll just take the portion of Adam and Eve. The first language, Adam mean man, M-A-N. Eve mean life bearer. It mean you carry my procedure, my divine procedure, into your wound. That's what it is. Satan, Lucifer, his beautiful name was Lucifer, who is the light bearer, mean the one he's supposed to be the light of the world, like Jesus Christ is today. That's what he was, actually. That was what God had for him. But he didn't want that. He wanted more. You see, my friend, there's more than what we see here. There's the other world, the bigger one. The bigger one. He wanted the bigger one. He didn't want this. Be the light of a small planet called Earth, just to come and serve people. Is that all you gave me, God? After my loyalty to you? That's exactly what happened. So he was called Satan as a curse name, as the adversary to God. That's what Satan means in the first language. So now, the bigger word, the plane that you have, when you master the cosmic intelligence, and you have all the tools, you're very powerful. And that's what he wanted. He wanted that, the big word. But you see, God wanted him to prove himself first in this earth before he can give him the big word. Jesus Christ was not exempt from that. When the time came, God sent Jesus Christ in this earth to prove himself before he can inherit the big word as he had today. As I'm speaking, he have to come here and suffer. You see, suffering is the remedy against Satan. It is a life-saving in a spiritual world. The suffering that you have, the true suffering that come naturally, are like accumulation of wealth in a spiritual world. You're accumulating wealth. You're accumulating wealth in a spiritual world. That's what it is. Because it is about the energy. There are too much good energy that are getting wasted. And some people have to carry that burden, to compensate the energy, because the universal law of balance is an integral part of existence. And I mentioned that before. People think it's just a joke. It's not a joke. It is an integral part of existence. You want it or not, everything must be in equilibrium. When you see Earth static in space, all those planets just right there in space, you think it's no, it's because everything have to be in equilibrium, balance, and that's our energy, and we are part of it, because that energy that lives within us is connected to the bigger energy. We are connected to the big energy. So our action interfere, counterbalance time, space. And when it does, as I mentioned before, when your initial soul was conceived at the primordial thought, was made through a science that is not from this world, only known by people who work for God and God. Your core soul is your main soul that is going into the process. Remember, the universe is a process in time that is unfolding, and you are part of that universe, so you are part of that algorithm. So your core soul, as God designed everything, is going into that process to reach a destination in which it will be ascended into the territory of the second heavens and will reach that higher civilization. So you see, what happening today in this world is to reach that level. So when the time comes, Earth will also become part of the second heaven. Let me explain very clearly before I go into practicality, as I'm talking about religion at this point. When you see people are talking about the return of Christ here, people never ask the question, what's going to happen next after he returns? What next? Let me tell you what next. What's going to happen when he returns? Men will not be men anymore like they are, simple men. There will be higher essence, man, civilization. It means your essence will be above human. Those we who exist, even though those who still gonna be in their journey, will be able to experience it, to visualize it, and seize what I'm saying here happening. When the Bible talking about people, the follower of Christ will be lifted up into the first heaven, and their body will be changed into the similar body that Jesus possessed. That technology existed long before the resurrection of Jesus Christ. He was already part of that world. The process that you saw happening when Jesus Christ died was long time existing. Only someone who have that kind of technology can create human being like us with limited higher function. It means his body was there, but his spirit was in heaven. So his spirit was functioning. Now what happened is his body was induced and brought back together with his existing spirit, and he formed a new, and the same individual but with very advanced function. It means when the Bible says he was appearing, yes, because in that higher essence he have the capability, because he's now above humankind. Now he can come back to the human form and go right back to the higher essence form to function in that dimension. He can also do the same thing to function in this dimension. That's what happened. When you saw he was appearing into those the apostle in the room, he was appearing. He come in a higher form. He can penetrate any wall. As soon as he penetrates the wall through advanced scientific incantation and practice, he got the form of human form. So as soon as he get the human form, you can come and touch him like he's alive, because he have that capability. It is the same process that God used, or Jesus Christ used, when he came to visit Abraham during that time. So that is called the higher civilization, the higher intelligence, the higher technology, the higher science, and higher engineering. So when you saw what happened during Jesus Christ, this is not an invention. It's because it did exist. Angels also have that capability. They can do that, but they do that only for specific mission, because they are not belong to this earth. They are not belong to this dimension. So they do it temporarily and go back to the form, normal form. That's the reason why when you saw Jesus Christ, when he was appearing, it was only for a very short period of time. He speak what the guys speak. All guys, I see you. Stay still and keep faith. Okay, and then he's gone. Because he had a more higher work that was waiting for him over there to control that higher world with more higher technology, advanced technology that they had, controlling all the energy of the universe, understanding the first heaven, the second heaven, and the first and the third one, in which is he have a lot of stuff he had to, not to learn, because when you have that dimension he was in, it's something that everything is known. Everything that you want to know just come up right away, because you are in direct synchronization and commensuration with the higher intelligence, which is the Holy Spirit. So all your answers are right there. That's what it is. So what happened when he returned is the transformation of earth into that dimension. But by the time he come, earth will be ready in the term of synchronizing what is coming with the civilization that will be at that time. Because the civilization that is coming will be very advanced. And when they say, you see those some priests talking about the people of earth will be able to travel from year to heaven, and from heaven to year, from year to any other planet. Yes, that's correct. It will happen, but not now. Other planets that went through the process, they are able to do that. But they work. This is what's going to happen. When Jesus Christ returns, the Bible will not be erased. There will be one religion, but there will be other rules that will be put in place to make sure that people do not abuse the power that will be given to them, open into them. We will be functioning according to the universal law. Every single one of us will be functioning at the time after he rule. Because after he rule, he's gonna leave, go to his heaven where he belongs, and the people who live in this earth gonna have to function according to the universal law, in addition to what they already know. New Testament, that will be the new requirement that will be put in place. Anyone who will violate that law, it will be known and it will be sanctioned. So that people don't abuse that power that will be given. There will be set of rules put in place, universal law. It means the ethical value will be advanced. The ethical value will be advanced, and people should be able to live in peace and harmony. That is where Earth is moving. There are many other planets that have reached that level and that are part of the territory of the second heavens. We are part of the territory of the heavens, but below the first heaven. Our earth is moving, and the movement of earth, the Milky Way is moving into space, but many people don't notice it. You cannot even notice it because it's like the movement of tectonic plate of continent. Continents are moving, but you don't know, apart. So that's what you see is moving. The Milky Way is moving in the universe according to a certain direction and moving toward that direction based on the star and the main stars. So when we reach that position, we reach that time, when the right time comes, therefore he will come and do what he's supposed to do, like I mentioned before, so that we move to the next step. So that technology existed and exists. People are going to say, how is that possible? Yeah, it is possible, because everything I explained is in your Bible. I just took it and made it practical. I didn't invent anything. So what's gonna happen? Therefore, when we move into that dimension, We will have a technology that will make us travel from one planet to from one universe to another universe, visit other planets that live far away from this planet, from other universe. We will understand how all the universe are structured. Let me tell you, my friend, there are many universes. This thing that you see is bigger than what you think. It's extremely bigger than what you think. If they're telling you that the second heavens, how do they know the second heaven is 185 billion or trillion miles away? Because there are people who are communicating with those advanced civilization in this earth. I don't want to mention their names. There are people who do. Because when they send signal, they receive a signal back. You cannot send a signal, receive a signal back if people don't exist there. It will not make no sense. They do. But it's too far. They can't reach them. That higher civilization can reach us. But we cannot reach them because we don't have that technology yet. They function under the universal law. And they respect God. They do not do anything without God, universal standard, principle, and laws. Everything is based on that. If you do anything beside it, you will have a response. And when you saw God sitting in that chair with the energy surrounding his head, is because he's controlling all those stuff. He's looking all those stuff at the same time. All the universe that he created, he look all of them, and with specific detail, extreme detail, and in commensuration with Jesus Christ, they all work. And in commensuration with the Holy Spirit and the higher intelligence, who is actually all over the place, because it's actually the entity that is doing all the work that you see. And God and Jesus Christ are giving command for the Holy Spirit to do work. And those higher beings who have reached that higher civilization that we're going through to have when Jesus Christ return for that purpose will be, and you just don't comprehend. That's the bigger battle. Adam and Eve was just a symptom of a bigger battle, because Lucifer knew that if we get there, it's over. The mission for earth for him done. He lost, because he cannot challenge people with higher intelligence. People with higher intelligence are already high intelligence. You can't come and tell them stuff. They are not subject to money. They are not subject to famine. When Jesus will return here, this earth will not have any more famine. This is not, I'm not talking about religion, I'm talking about practicality. Because when he returns, what's going to happen? You already have a body in which you can move all over the place. You can do whatever is suitable, have what you want. But according to the universal law, principle, and standards for the universal law of balance to maintain that energy pattern as predetermined. So they will not be farming. Everybody will live peacefully with wealth accordingly. So there's no place for Satan. He will be gone. So he do not want that to happen. That's the bigger battle. Because let me tell you, the more people reincarnate and don't finish the process as God has predetermined, the more it will take for Earth to reach the final destination, the higher civilization. And the business of Lucifer, what he's doing, of Satan, what he's doing is that he mixed up every single journey you have, so that you don't reach your divine purpose according to the plan. You'll be forced to return to complete it. So his business is to make sure that it's mixed up, challenge you when you return for every single journey. So the longer you take to reach, the most stop that you have. Let's say you're traveling to somewhere by car. They put you in the same road with another person. That person do not stop. He goes straight forward. And you stop, let's say 2 times or 3 times. Very simple question. Even a baby can answer that. Who's going to be the first one to arrive? The person who don't going to stop, or the person who's going to have less stoppage? It's the same thing. I mean, the more you're going to reoccur here on Earth through reincarnation process, the more longer it will take you to reach the final destination of purity and divine purpose. And the job of Lucifer is to making sure that it's happening. Because when God created us at the primordial fault with our core soul and put it in that intended pattern based on the structure of the universe and the balance, we're supposed to maintain that pattern. And what God said was, okay, I will make those folks live through revelation. So they will be able to communicate with my angel and communicate with me, and I'll tell them how to function if they have any trouble, so that they don't make any mistake. So if they don't make any mistake, they will stay into the intended pattern, and everything will be fine. They will have a better life. There will be less problems. There will be less social differences. There will be less radiation conflict among people, and they will be able to progress accordingly into the civilization pattern which I've already predetermined peacefully. That's the reason why. That's how he wanted. Now what happened is, Lucifer said, now that's too easy for these folks. I am the highest fair. I'm the higher being. Well, what do I gonna? I'm the light of the universe. So why do I will come and serve people who are inferior to me? So that's what happened. Now, when the right person was born, Adam, and the soul was induced into him, Eve was created, and they did what everybody knows, and he mixed up that plan that God had. But like God is the most intelligent person, is the most, he already have a backup for it. So he said to man, you have chosen the experimentation process. You're still going to get there. I will be there with you, but you will suffer for it. And we suffer why? Because practicality. Because every time that we do experimentation, the probability or the likelihood of having the right answer is small compared to getting the answer from the higher intelligence. Angel, how do you believe about me going over there? Oh, well, when you go over there, this is what's going to happen, this is what's going to happen, this is what's going to happen, so don't go there. Oh, if I do this, well, how do you believe? What's going to be the answer? It isn't going to go well from you. Let me explain to you. It show you all the images and stuff. Good. I see this woman there. What do you think about her? Are you just love her because you see her for sex or something like that? You're going to be divorced in 2 years. That's not yours. Be patient. That's yours over there. That's the way God wanted this earth to function. You want to go and do something bad? No, don't do that. Be patient. Yours is coming. Your problem will be solved. All right. You go to bed and sleep. No problem. You have no anxiousness to anyone. No jealousy to no one. That's how He wants us to function. Lucifer came in place and said, well, why you want to take order from a person who don't take order from no one? That's where everything started. So when God said, I will be with you, but you're going to suffer, it's because He knew that from the first time we come in the scene, we're going to distance ourselves away from the holy. And the other reason why He wanted us to go with revelation, because He wants to maintain us pure, so that with purity we can commensurate more better with the Holy Spirit, with the Holy Almighty, because it's pure. There will be less sin. Less sin means you are more closer to God, and you can hear God more better and clearly. Angel can interact with you more clearly. That's why God is in the business of purifying people. He loves it. Because it is actually, I don't want to say remind Him, because I'm not one to say that to Him, but I can say that just to commensurate my message. It remind Him exactly what He intended for man. He wants people to be clean like babies. And to prove Lucifer, this one right here, my project was right. So now, going into the path of experimentation, that's where we have all the problems you see in this world. Because no one knows what is next. No one knows what is coming. We have to go to those psyche and psychologists and all those magicians. They are procrastinators. The people who know about the truth are the people who work for God. The people from the second heaven, the angel, and the third heaven. First, second, and third heaven. Those are the only ones who have the true power. No one else. If somebody tell you otherwise, he's fooling you. Anyone from the first, second, and third heaven are the true power. Because they have access. They work for God. God summoned them, and God communicated with them in a more, with the technology they have. And the technology that God have in the third heaven, He made what is called perfection of perfections. It means He master, like always, the energy of the environment. That's exactly what he used. I mean, a car can move only to your thoughts. A car can move in space only with your thoughts. That's how the third heaven is. You can move from one place to another place only with your thought. That's how advanced that civilization is. You know? So you can have everything you want only with your thought. As long as you follow God's principle, standard, and law. If you try to be like Lucifer, you find yourself descending exponentially down. And there will no one who's going to be catching you. Maybe friction going to be slowing down your process. So you can enjoy that moment before you reach the final magma of fire. So you do not value that law. You stick into the plane as God designed. Don't try to be smart here. You can act smart. The universe He created. When you reach a certain level, they're always going to stop you to warn you. Yeah, right there, you're not authorized to do that. They function in strict standards. They don't play with that. Don't touch somebody else's thing. Don't think about somebody else's stuff. They function, and that's how Earth gonna be. That's why He will take 1,000 years for Jesus Christ to bring men mentality into that new era, because it will be that. Don't think about it. It will be very strict, and there will be no reason for people not to follow it, because you're gonna have what you want. And I see no reason at all for people not to follow it. You want to have an appointment with God in earth, you will. You want to have an appointment with Jesus Christ here in earth, you just have to communicate through the mean that will be bestowed to us, to the human who will be in existence at that time. How to do that? And be able to travel right away, and then you're in heaven. So that's why when Earth reached that level, Lucifer lost it. Over. So that's the reason why he wanted to get as much soul of that reincarnation process of journey through that Polish process, I can call it, because you polishing yourself, you improving yourself to be better according to God's plan for that higher purpose. So he want to get more soul with him. You want to get more soul. But he also want to go even more than that. He also wanted to undermine your existence even when you reach that final destination. He want to challenge you. He want to make sure that you don't reach it. It It is the higher, bigger battle that you have never seen. You can have the prayer that you want to pray. You can use all the revelations, all the prayer in the book, in the Bible. It is all good. But I want people to remember that Jesus Christ was not sent here only to save man from sin. He came here to show man how to glorify God's work. It means if you can prove into Lucifer that you don't fear death, you are able to be tenacious when it comes into suffering, you will make him flee away from you. That's what he proved to the world. But people don't see it. They only focus on, he saved my sin, you died for me, you saved my sin, you died for me. I'm just sick and tired. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired of hearing that same rhetoric. Because it does not bring people to change. With all the respect I have for, but I have to tell you the truth. God is not in the business of accusing folks. He is in the business of condemning you with rationality and legitimacy. But the condemnation that God will bring on you will be to bring you into the process of repentance. It means bring you into the process of sanctification through redemption, righteousness, to justification, in order for you to be saved. Now when you are saved, that condemnation that God has put, brought into you has worked, because the purpose of that was to transform you and make you move on to the next step. But that's not how Lucifer functions. Lucifer going to accuse you all over and all over and all over and all over and all over again, because he wants to bring you into despair, to lust. And as I'm speaking now, in the courtroom of heaven, there are many evil forces that are working against humankind, with the master Satan. They are prosecutors accusing men. It means that the business is to sack God project at all. They want to sack it. Their business is there to accuse people, to challenge God and say, that man over there have done this, you have done this to your process of reincarnation. He have done this before, he have done this, and that he have to pay for it. You say that that you're being a perfect, but they are not perfect as you think. And then your defender, your attorney, that play the role of advocacy and defending you, is Jesus Christ. The Father is there as the main judge, is just listening both sides. And that's where everything is done. And God said, all right, For this person, go and test him, go and try. It's a big work they have. But God only allow him to do what he know you can handle. But most of the time, Lucifer don't know it. Because the way God do it, he do it as the master, the great architect, the one who created everything. So he can do stuff that no one else can understand. Even people who are very powerful, like Lucifer and any other being. So he knows how to do that. So when the prosecutor accusing prosecutor come in, start accusing humankind for the sin that he actually pushed you to do with God agreement, because this is very tricky, right? When he come, he say, I want you to, go and steal in the bank, go and do this. He want you to do bad stuff. He talk to your subconscious, and your subconscious control your conscience, and you go and do it, and then say, okay, look at you now. You are in trouble, you are in trouble, you are in trouble. He keep putting that behind your back, and you see a person start, having, the feeling of accusation. And he take the same thing, he brought it to the court of the heaven and say, look what he did. And then look, and then you say, this person is the right person, is the right creation, merely to be here. You send me to hell, but look what he's doing. And God is looking at him and say, he doesn't even know I'm playing that. It's through my trial. It is through my trial. So, all right, I give you more time to test him again. If you succeed, will only happen if he give you that authorization. Maybe I might lose that specific soul, but I will not lose the person, the man's soul, because I will send him again in different form to prove me right. So Lucifer go. In the meantime, he called Jesus Christ, say, I'll make sure that he is protected so that he can handle that trial. And Jesus Christ or God or the angel are sent specifically for that. It happened in a matter of seconds, very fast and quick. But the only thing that can seize you to benefit from that process, practical process, is your faith. The faith here is the enhancer, the activator to every beneficial thing that can come from the higher civilization, the heavens. That is the only thing, your faith. Those things are there, but people do not have faith. Let me give you an example. You take a tennis ball, place many people, and tell them to load the tennis ball into a wall, and the only thing you have to do, you measure the speed in which it was loaded and the speed of return, and you do what's called the differentiation process analysis. You find out that the one who launch faster during the loading time will have his ball returned faster to him. You find out that the person who's going to load his tennis ball faster, will have it return faster. It is the same thing with your faith. The more you walk on your faith, the more you polish your faith, will determine how you will benefit from what God has already put in place, as well as the speed of the answers. Faith is the key, because faith is what will make you defeat. Faith is what will make you defeat death. It will make you defeat. It will make you defeat fear to suffering. I think many people out there, they are afraid that, if I suffer, I'm going to lose it. No, that's the only way. That's what I'm telling you. Jesus Christ didn't come here for the business of showing you, of saving your life, saving your sins. That's not the only purpose. He came here mainly to show you the way, how to glorify God, how to live. If you can prove Lucifer that you don't fear death, you can prove him you don't fear to suffer, he's going to flee away from you like he flee away from Jesus Christ at the desert. When your fire gonna come into his hand, he's gonna be like, no, please put it aside. That's crazy, folks. That's how he's gonna call you, crazy man. Fooling himself. Actually, he's saying that because he tried to remind him his experience. Not because you're fooling yourself. You're actually doing the right thing. But he's saying that to remind you his own life. That's exactly what's going on. And that's the reason why I'm going to say this to people. When people undermine your dreams, when people sit down and predict your doom or criticize you, remember that they are telling you their own story, not yours. So when you see people out there, they spend all the time to criticize you, to undermine your dream, to undermine your accomplishment, your effort. That's exactly what Lucifer is doing in the throne, the courtroom throne. He's every single time he's there to undermine everyone's dreams, everyone's effort. But he doesn't know that he's reminding people about his story. And everyone knows his story. He wants to prove people that we failed God. Actually, he's reminding people that he failed God. That's exactly what he's doing. So when you see people out here in this world who spend their time criticizing, undermining your effort, predicting your doom, you have to remember one thing, that they are not talking about your story. They're talking about their story. They're talking about their failure. They're telling in their mind, I wish I should have been like this guy. That's exactly what Lucifer is doing. I wish I should have taken the place of Jesus Christ. I wish I should have been like those human beings that God conceived at the primordial fault, and they have to go all to the benefits process of through revelation, live a beautiful life into the reach the final destination and become a higher essence. That was the process. But Let me tell you what happened behind the scene in heaven. And remember, everything I'm saying here are through divine inspiration. It comes straight into the heaven through a process that is not known by mankind in this civilization. Is a higher technology. Is by telepathy of a higher level and higher sphere. So now, what happened in heaven is that when he decided he wanted to come and attack mankind, you were made at the primordial thought as God predetermined that. Your purpose was determined at that time, or on what you're supposed to do. Serve God, your purpose, your characteristic, and your beneficial attribute to humankind. Every single one of us have that. Every single one of us have that. Every single one of us, all of us, every single one of us have that. But in a certain extent, there are certain people who have to carry the load, who have to carry more than others. The way they were created by fault. Look in every single thing that you have in this earth. You will see that in every single thing that you see in this earth, there are always a Mr. Number One or Mrs. Number One. Always. There's always going to be a player that have the most money, that carry the weight of the team. How do you believe that's happening? Because that's how God designed things. And God will tell you, do not worry about other people's life. You're not here for the same personal purpose. Even if all your purpose are leading into a common higher purpose. You know what he want on me? Nah. You were not there when he was conceived at the primordial thought. He was choosing for a purpose because that's the way it was designed. But if you take your position, your place accordingly, you're also going to see happiness. That's the way it is. And you see in everything, you're going to see someone, they invest millions of dollars on him. You think that he's not a supernatural being, he's like other being. It is an example on how it is even structured. Even when you see in the presidency or higher position in this earth and many things, that's how God made it. People need to stop asking questions, why them, why not me? Look, find the way you will design your purpose, polish it, become good at it, and find happiness. Don't try to be. You can say it because the example of other folks, I will be my best. But don't say I will be like, exactly like. You will never gonna be like, exactly like. You will be you. You try to be exactly like other, you're gonna fall by default. Because you'll be going off from your intended pattern. And there will be more trouble in your life. That's the way it is designed. And so that's what you see in the team. You see one team, the guy is making millions. The other people are like, He's like us. What different? I can even play more than him. No, he have a characteristic that is only for him. That when he present itself, people love it. When you come to class to do the same thing, only few people show up in a stadium, and the entire team lose money. So take your place, my friend. That's the way it is. Those things are not just physical. People are think it's also spiritual. The day that person show up in a stadium, the stadium is full. If that person is not there, 2 people didn't go, 3 people didn't go, the money is missing, as we predicted. But you are there. All of you are there. You're not also important. No, it's because it was designed like that. That's why you see even in the spiritual world, Jesus Christ was chosen among many people, angel that God have. God have many people. God say to people, hey, listen, if somebody out there don't want to do my purpose, I have many of you right here. The replacement will not take long. It's very simple. I got many of you right here. If somebody give me a hard time, I shake him off and I move on with my purpose. So he have many like that, but everybody is designed for a specific purpose to glorify him. So he chooses Jesus to do that specific mission among many other people, and they all said, yes, Almighty, you're right. But it was not an easy task. What people don't comprehend, those people in those teams that are paying higher money, they have a bigger tax because they have the responsibility of commensurating the effort with what they are expected to do, which is a very higher standard. It's not easy like people think. So it is a responsibility that only them can get it done, because God chose them there because he knew the way they were made. They can handle it. You put somebody else there, I can assure you there will be a lot of problems. At the end, you're going to see that person, no, this is not for me. Please, let him come back to do his stuff. And when the right person is there, you see everything come back to normal. It's because through the higher control of the second heaven, they control everything here. So when a piece is not in the right place, there will be problem. They will make sure that those problems occur to rectify, so that the energy can be in a right pattern. So if you are in the wrong place, they will make sure that they take you off there. Then you're going to have many problems. And then when you take off, you go to the right place, you have peace. Everything functions well. Their job is to control the entire universe. They're controlling us. Your mind, your subconscious, all control. Now people are going to say, how do they control? But I explained that earlier. I said to you that God wants us to live in revelation. I said that for a reason. Now through experimentation, you have 2 different people talking to you. Now people don't even know who they're talking to. Now you are doing your process through your critical thinking, and you think this is what I want to do, and you move on with that. and suddenly you have problems. If you really look, you call into God to come and give you the right path, but it comes with time. It doesn't come through a normal process as they control our mind. It is a trial that God put you in and allow Lucifer to inject his negative wave on you so you can start acting a way that is not right. But it is a test in which God allow everything that happened to people in this earth, or to people, it is God who allow it to happen. People are going to say somebody just got killed. What God allowed to happen? This is where what I'm saying here come in place, because that person journey was exactly predetermined like that. It is a process of reincarnation. That's where all of these come in place, to ease people anxiousness into some stuff they don't comprehend really. Like how God can allow this. He doesn't allow it is because people are moving toward the journey, and the journey that you're in today have in that folder the previous karma. I mean, every single journey have all the previous karma. They call it in the heavens the residue of your previous life. That's how they call it in the heaven. So when your time come, let's say your time come in your previous existence, you pass away. Now when they realize your soul was created, it was not created well, you have not done well, so you went to hell. That's the right soul went to hell. So now they make another generated soul from the core soul that is functioning in the intended pattern, and the folder is already written. So that folder already written, as God already designed, they went there, they go there and take it from the cabinet in where God put it. Everything's arranged. You come up, they already know every single residue that you have in all your previous existence are part of it, including the blessing that God have given to you for that specific journey. This is your coat, this is what you're gonna have, this is the money that I bless you, and everything for that mission. Now you can go. So now when you enter this earth, Lucifer's there is washing. Now he's returning again. What's the blessing that was given for his code for survival? What was all the blessing that was given to him? He looked, all right, that gonna have a big interference into my mission here? Either you do or not, he come after you. I have a higher bit in this one. I will challenge him. He owned me many in some of his previous existence. So when you come in, you're born, you have no clue. You there, you have good time. You go into the process, life is unfolding. You facing your residue from previous existence, as well as you facing the reality of this present journey. So you are pounded from both sides. That's why you see some people sometimes they say, what have I done to merit this? No, you have done nothing, my friend. It is something you paying from back then. This is something simple. I don't understand this. I've done nothing. Yes, of course you have done nothing, but you did back then. So the point that is happening is your natural mind is pure. It means your subconscious must still have some of the residue of your previous, the most recent one, but your conscience will be fresh from where you were conceived physically. So till you start going into all those trouble, that's where you're going to start nurturing your conscience through your subconscious, with your subconscious, and start understanding many things that goes on, and increase your level of cosmic consciousness, the consciousness of the higher existence, the existence of the Almighty God, Elohim, that is the master of all this. So you there, you are washing people. He come in and it's clear. It is God that allowed, and it is a very bigger algorithm of higher science, that he knew everything that will happen from the beginning into the end, all the algorithm in place. But the law of man were put in place to keep peace. What part? The part on how people have to handle their karmic debt and the reality of the journey on earth. That's where the law of man become important, if not abused by the same people who made it. So the point is, the way you handle it, your karmic debt, will determine how you're going to move forward. But what was meant to happen will happen. When you see circumstances in which a person have the most bigger affliction, it was meant to happen. Those are stuff coming that you're never gonna, you're gonna carry that cross. You see, it is the only way to understand why you see people coming and commit outrageous crime, because it cannot be comprehended other than this way. Those specific people, they came already in adjudication in series, all under the scope of the universal law of balance. You see people coming, crime is coming, they're all gone. Those specific people who made just for that specific purpose, to compensate the residue of their previous existence. But they truly not a lost to God. But the grade of that specific journey can look like a lost, because the way they will handle the karmic debt must send that specific soul to hell. Like indeed, if you kill, like the man who killed, with all the respect and all the anxiousness, kill all your grandkids and 6 of them and kill himself and daughter, that specific soul will go to hell. That specific soul will go to hell. How can you explain why all those kids was killed? Is because during their previous existence they were sent there altogether from the different place in which they live, where something like that happened, in which they have done something like that. It is, don't look at me like a monster. I'm explaining, I'm giving you the truth. That's why I say the moment of the truth. It is tough to explain it, but it is the truth, because the truth is the truth. It's what we see. In what we face, you cannot avoid it. So I speak it the way it will remorse some people. So they did what's supposed to be done in the previous existence. In order for that to be compensated, in the folder, in this specific existence, they were all sent into a specific family. That specific person in which they were sent have the same compensation that's supposed to be done based on the previous karmic existence and residue. So they come into that family. That man was also part of that. But now, how to explain how it happened? Here, I would like to make sure that people know that there are a big differentiation between your karmic residue and the influence of the society. You can handle your karmic debt positively to compensate it. It doesn't always have to be such way like it happened. Frustration come through, and through that trial, God allow Satan to come and test you, because the trial is not done here. The trial is done at the highest sphere. Every single one of us who's tested, who have difficulties or who have goods, it's because it is allowed from above. Do not mislead your head thinking that it was done because I was wealthy to have it. No, you're not. It was decided from above before you even got it. I am a star now. No, when you were born, the angel, those people working for you, they were observing you. They knew already what you're going to be. So when you're there, you're crying, you're doing this, they're just there and laughing and say, look, he doesn't even know what is waiting for him. Because in time space, they can actually go and see you in your happiness, in your happy time, through your time of death. The only thing they can tell you is your time of death. They are not allowed to do that. You know, they can see everything. So if people, they can see how Jesus Christ lived his life by defeating death, not fearing death, and not fearing suffering, accepting suffering the way it comes with happiness and smile. It is the best way to respond into your karma, even into the influence of the society, because the karma that you have, it is like the universe that is unfolding as a process in time, from a distant past to a distant future. It means that's actually your karma, because you started from a distant past as part of the universe. So it's there. It is an integral part of your existence. It means it will be induced in your daily life. try to manifest in order to be balanced. It will come in different form: trial, tribulation, happiness, good time. Even what you do, uh, the money you possess and everything, it is the mirror of the previous one. Either you have done well, or either you have it, but you also gave to build up a more better life in that specific journey and even the next one. So when you occur again in a different form, the compensation is there. And that's why people have to do good in this specific life journey. They have to do good, because it does not only allow them to save their soul for this specific life, but it also allow them to prepare a better life beyond this one. So that's something that we must know. You just don't gonna say what he's talking about, don't get it. When you see people like Pastor Young from, I think, South Korea, who died and went to heaven, and he returned and he gave all his money away because he faced the truth. He faced the practicality of the bigger world, and he came on earth and he gave all his money away, $150 million. People might think it was crazy. No, when you face the reality and the truth, you know that no, this is not a joke. Because I get people over there. Man, come on, he keep talking that thing. I don't really look into those stuff. You tell him to save himself first, and then But when you face that truth, you actually face that truth. You pass away, you go over there, and then you send back here because of the grace of God to increase your time, so you can fulfill that destiny, that mission in this specific journey. He send you back. You take all that money, you give it away, and you live your simple life. You know what to do. The guy probably took all the $150 million, he gave it somewhere, and he have the money he's supposed to have from those residue every single month. He knew he was never gonna lack money, but he doesn't need all that. He probably already have his house paid. He have maybe a normal car. He gave all his Lamborghini that he had away. All those Lamborghini, he gave it away. I don't want those. Those cars didn't save me when I was dying. Please go away. That $150 million when I have my terminal cancer didn't help me out. Please go away. That's how, when you reach that level of comprehension of consciousness, you became enlightened. Enlightenment, the true enlightenment, it is the consciousness of the existence and the power and glory of the Almighty Elohim. Not the enlightenment that people are talking about, the existence of Lucifer and stuff like that. That's not the true enlightenment. The true enlightenment is a high level of cosmic consciousness of the understanding of the divine being, of the laws, the divine laws of the universe that keep the universe balanced. That's what it is. So when you see people do stuff like that, you have to comprehend that this is not a joke. There is the difference between religion and practicality. The same way we have religion in this earth, and we have reality. You go to some place, people will say, hey man, this is not reality. This is not religion, man. You got to go and work and make it happen. Yeah, many people will say that here. It is the same way even in the heavens. They have practicality. The universe must be maintained. The universal law of balance must be maintained because it is an integral part of existence. It have nothing to do with religion. In that regard, over there, they have to do the work. Like people have to construct road for those roads to happen. The technology must be well done for the airplane to travel. You don't see people there staying with the Bible and say, please, we need all the part of this plane to come together so that it can move forward in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen. So fly. Please, if you find somebody who can do that, call me. It is practicality. It also exists even over there in heavens. The place of religion is for people to believe, to have faith, because it is too much for people to understand the power, the complex power of the divine being, other than believe and have faith. That's all. But when you go into practicality, you take practicality as it is. You take religion as it is. And religion can lead you to have faith into that practicality that you don't understand, because it is above your understanding. If I say to somebody, the people who work for God over there, they decide how much you have in your bank account, you're going to be like, what the heck you talking about? They'll come into you and say, they'll give you exact amount that you have in your bank account. And they're also going to tell you what you're going to have in year to come. Exact amount. Yeah, I was also looking for this amount. You're not going to have it. Forget about that. They told you exactly that. I don't know if you're going to have this, because no, you're going to have that one. They tell you exactly what will possibly happen, because they're in control of all that. They said, oh, you're going to have this amount of paycheck, and for about, let's say, 2 years, and after 2 years, you're going to go down. It is in accordance to the intended patterns on how you're made. Correction have to be made. So when it's reduced, you're going to go into a certain process of trial in which you're going to have to readjust everything so that you can nurture more. In about 3 years or 4 years, it will increase again, and then increase it. You are there. How are you going to be reduced? They know how they do the algorithm. Well, Mr. John Joe, you see, you are a very good employee here. But we love you too much. But unfortunately, you're going to have to reduce your hours. What? It is getting done over there. You're going to have to reduce your hour to 21.5 hours. That's all we can give you. If you can find something somewhere else, you can go. Actually, there's no other place else other than staying and taking that. So your salary is reducing too. correction to the intended pattern, the way it was predetermined. Now they put you in a test. Now you're gonna have to eat beans and rice and restructure your finance and everything. When you pass that trial, and then now either the same job will come again and say, "Oh, Mr. John Joe, we just have an opening," and it will actually pay you double for what you've been making previously, and then your salary increase again because they allow it to happen over there. If I say that to someone, he's gonna say to me, "Nonsense, I don't believe in stuff like that." Well, let me say something to you. If you don't work here in this earth, you just pray the Bible, you tell me how you're gonna pay your bills. It is called the practicality of earth. If you believe that earth was created as a prototype like heaven, you also have to believe that everything that exists here also exists over there, but in a more higher sphere. As there are reality here, there are also reality over there. It is the same thing. Angel work, they have their schedule. People work over there, they have their schedule. They have what they're supposed to do. The finance department of the kingdom of God overview the financial progress of every single country around the world and the global economy. They seize all of that. He has his financial department that handle all of that. He has his technological department that handle the civilization process on how technology will evolve, will rise, will develop. It means they already know who will come at a specific time, who will be based on the way he was created at the primordial thought, who will bring that specific technology in a higher level. And say, now it is time for this kind of technology. Now we can make it happen. They get somebody inspired, the person wake up in the morning and come up with something. And people are like, "I've been here working here for 20 years. I never have this kind of inspiration. Where did this come from?" They start asking questions. Do his grandfather was, his grandmother was? No. He was created that way through God to do that specific purpose. He was not probably known as an intellectual person, but that's how God does stuff. Unfolding process. Nobody knows what is coming. So that's the way it is done. He have his governments for war control. They control how war goes. It is time to create some trouble over there. At this point, there's things coming up. Lucifer is coming up with certain stuff. We have to make sure that we maintain it, and then it is the force that go in between. He have his department for medical research and innovation and medicine. Lucifer is coming with diseases. I'll bring a new kind of disease that, and let me tell you, there will be more rare disease as time goes. But those will be things that God will allow to happen because He knows men are capable of solving it. Because He knows through that He will lead men into a purpose to that higher civilization, toward the process in which I spoke earlier in the beginning of this presentation of the return of Christ. Because He wants men to move into that to polish themselves. That's what I said. And challenges, difficulties, and suffering are enhancer to improvement for a more higher purpose. Because it allowed those to happen. So pretty much God is using Lucifer for his purpose, but Lucifer don't know it. He think he's in control of what he's doing. Yes, suffering is there. That's true. But like I say in the beginning, if you can defeat death, if you can defeat suffering, you win. So you don't have to worry about success. It will happen. So God allowed the thing to happen because he knows men are capable of solving it. Because he will advance men. Somebody will come with a technology, with a medicine that will solve that problem. And will advance men to the next, mankind to the next level. To be ready for the next challenge. So there's no sitting happening and think, why this thing happening? It happened according to the plan, according to the clockwork. That's how they call it. So the clockwork was already in place, in position to go, and it is the way it was designed. So God is using him for his purpose, but he does not know it. He might even know it, but he knows, well, it is your people who are going to be suffering, not me. I'm already burning here in hell. I'm already familiar with it. You know? So right away, I'm still a little bit free. I can enjoy life out there of hell. Sometime, you know, I'm good. You know? That's the point. That's the way it is. He's listening to me right now. He's freaking pissed. He doesn't know what to do. But that's exactly what I'm doing. Because he launched infliction of pain on me and I took it. So it's time for me to give back. And I'm glad that he was part of my life because he made me improve myself as God planned it. You know? So that's what it is. So in terms now of relationship, I always say to folks, you have to be able to seize life not only in a physical aspect but also in a spiritual aspect. Relationships are not only physical. I see people out there. If you can please excuse me, I'm drinking my free toxin water now with positive energy, you know, to help detoxify some of my genes and cells. So what happened is relationship is not only physical, it is spiritual. It is even more spiritual than physical. Most people don't know it. You see a lady out there is coming, oh, let me go and work, you know, I'm gonna work well and attract him and see, you know. Nah, excuse me. This is the point. A man who have a higher level of consciousness, he look at you and he smile. The physical aspect distract your conscience through emotion. But the truth never lie, because at the end, if there was no spiritual bond, there will be separation. Because It was not meant to happen. When your conscience dominates your conscience is the mind of your natural being, and your subconscious is the mind of the spiritual being that live within your natural being. And your subconscious is more intelligent than your conscience, because your subconscious is linked to the true power, is linked to the true knowledge, to the infinite intelligence, the divine intelligence, the cosmic intelligence. So when your conscience dominate your subconscious, is because your emotion have taken over your wisdom, your natural wisdom that comes from your subconscious. And then when that emotion come out, the emotion come out because your conscience got distracted by your self-ego. And then you make a decision because Lucifer is testing you that way. Go and walk like that, you charm that man, and then he come and say to you, look at, that's fine. So, but if you know the spiritual aspect, you look the spiritual aspect, the spiritual aspect is saying, that's not yours. It belongs to a John Smith that will be coming in 2 years. They don't know each other yet, but it will be, because when we see the spiritual pattern, they meet at this specific time, this specific hour, and they will last together for a very long time. And they have John Smith Jr. that will be coming in 5 years from now. You'll be like, how you doing all of that? That's how God wants us to live, with revelation. Well, you force your emotion. They all love together because I like him because I see him. All right, good. Go ahead. Couple days after, I thought I like him, but I don't like him anymore. Because he was, or I like her, I don't like her anymore, because it was not. There was not any spiritual bond between you. It was an emotional meetings and things happen. People are attracted together. Sometimes I sense the people to look closely. Sometimes you have an attraction to a person. That attraction is above your spiritual understanding, your physical understanding, because that attraction is not only physical, but it is also spiritually manifested. When you see that happen, it means you supposed to meet that person specifically, and that person can even be your soulmate. When I say soulmate, people don't understand what it is. Soulmate is the person in which the intended patterns in the universe cross with you for a very long period of time. And when they open your folder of your specific existence, her name is there. And when they open her folder in her specific journey in this lifetime, your name is there. And when they open the folder of the kid that will be coming, both of your name are there. That's how it is structured. So that's the reason why when you go back in time of the Torah and the higher intelligence and civilization they had, they come on earth and say, don't worry. When God came with the two other angels and said to Abraham, your wife gonna have a son, because what I'm saying to you here, they already know that, and that son gonna have many other sons. Actually, God talking to Abraham, he already knew that the Jew gonna exist, and he saw all that technology, everything, and when he look, he just laughed because he can see those stuff happening, but we cannot see those stuff happening because suffering is a big challenge. And when you stay and you see that suffering happening, and you say like, oh, when do this thing gonna end? Actually, it will end, but it will take a lot of more faith and effort to be tenacious, resilient, and perseverance into that goal. That's exactly what happened. And that's what I say to folks, that they have to look. In my case, I don't look relationship anymore in a physical aspect. If a woman come out there, yes, physical aspect is part of my domain too, because you want to be with a woman that are synchronizing with the way you were created. It's correct, but the spiritual aspect is more powerful than that. The spiritual aspect, people who are not made together, nothing good will come out of it. Like somebody said, a very wise man said, you are single and you thinking that the world come into an end for you. Wait until you marry the wrong person, the wrong partner. That will become a reality. The world will actually come to an end for you. You see, and that is the reality. When you get the wrong partner, like I said to you before, the person in the team that was choosing is replaced by somebody else. There's turbulence until the right person is put in place. You will find the same thing. You have the wrong partner, you're gonna have trouble, like you have implanted a virus somewhere. But as soon as separation occurs, you see a peace that you have never found before, both of you. You see what I mean? So that's exactly how things happen, because it is all controlled from above. You have to make sure that it is all balanced and put accordance to the clockwork. That's why you have to be content and happy with what you have, because it is what is blessed in order to move you to where you're supposed to be. And what you have include what you do not have. So what you do not have is also blessed, because it was not meant to be there. If you have the wrong thing, it will bother you like a disease that is within you. Remember, somebody was sick, he just want to take that part away from his body. It's the same thing when you have the wrong partner. It's like a disease that you have that will bother you every single time, every single second. So I'm asking people to elevate themselves into a more spiritual consciousness about this matter of relationship. To leave emotion aside and move a little bit more toward the spiritual, which is the true practicality of this. Many people end up into together and start forming a family. Some of them happen accordingly. Some of them happen to many effort and turbulence and difficulty and challenges. But those that were seen spiritually, nobody cut his hand to have that ring, to have that relationship, to have that. You didn't went into the mountain and climb Mount Sinus, I say Mount Sinus, Mount Sinai, in order for you to get that pride. It came pretty much naturally with some effort. That's how a what to happen relationship's supposed to be. A relationship of not what to happen is the one that you're gonna have to do certain stuff that will violate your own loyalty. When you are in that kind of relationship where you start violating your own loyalty, please make sure that start thinking twice. That's not yours. In that point, you are forcing something based on your emotion. Because a person that is designed for you, the way they make it over there, she will see what people see as bad, good. And you will see what people see bad on her, good. That's how they make it happen. It means the person that is intended to you is that when you are attracted to her, she's also attracted to you. That's how it works in a spiritual realm. And people don't know that. A relationship of one attraction, sometimes you have to question it. It becomes the emotion is taking over and your conscience will dominate your subconscious. And when it happens, the decision that will come out might not be the right one. So that's what happened relationship wise. So be happy with what you have, even including what you do not have. If you're single, enjoy that time, because the time will come where you will have that right partner. Those people over there didn't send you here to be single. They send you here to do God's purpose, which include proliferate the world with people. You mean you're gonna have a partner. It is not a gleam, it is not a hallucination. It is the truth, it is the way it is designed. For some people it might take longer, but if you stay tenacious, if you don't worship the people of the community, because there are people that today, when God puts you in trial, we start panicking. Oh, I need to have a wife now. I need to be in a relationship right now. So you're not happy in the position in which God placed you. You believe you made a mistake. Let me give you an awareness. Everything that happened to you is God saying so. He's putting you on trial for a purpose that he knows, based on the universal law of balance, your karmic residual, and your test and trial based on your journey. So when you're there, he knows that During your trial, if you resist, you have the right thing. Now, you are influenced by your community, by the people. Now, when God said, do not worship any other God than me, people always think, well, if I don't have any idol in my house, I'm good. No, you're not. If you start going against your own loyalty and you start saying, I don't like to be single, I hate it, I'm gonna make sure that I'm not, I'm gonna fabricate a person, make sure that we start working together because I want to show people that I have someone. Let me tell you what you just did. You are worshiping the God of envy, or and the God of selfishness. That's what you're doing. So you're worshiping other God. You just violated the first commandment and the first universal law. I'm sorry to tell you that, but that's the truth. In the other side, if you stay tenacious and say, all right, I believe in the word and power of God, and I believe that He's the one. There's a being out there who created all this, and He knows everything that's happening to me. You go back into your lifetime and you see situation in which you have not comprehended, but you came alive from it, and say it should only happen if there was a higher power behind this. So He does exist. So I believe if He does exist, therefore my situation is also controlled by Him like He did before. So I am content and happy about what is happening to me right now, because I know it will resolve. And when you stay tenacious, you will be surprised the right person will come along so easier, and you both will be mutually attracted. That is the key to your soul. Remember when God brought Adam and Eve together, they were both mutually attracted. Actually, Adam made a sin following Eve because he loved her. That's exactly what happened. And then God said, you're supposed to be the man. Really, that's what you're supposed to do. Just follow her. Okay, good, I understand it, but you give me instruction. So people have to make sure that they understand how this thing process and work. I do understand it. That's why I stay in my side and people think I'm crazy. And I'm looking at them and I laugh because they don't know what they're doing. I can promise you, when God said to man, go and populate the world, He didn't send you here in this earth to be single all your life. Trust me. He knows what He's doing in your life. If you can be tenacious, you can just pause. You have the right one. There is nothing that is happening to you in this earth that they don't give authorization. They can deprive you for something, but they don't take it away from you, because they want you to reach a certain maturity to get it, so you can handle it well according to the predetermined plan for you. That's what's happening. And most people were honest. There are certain people who went into relation over relation and never end up well. But those same people went and get other relation and they're good. And they don't understand it. They say, well, I'm not pretty. Well, what's going on with me? How God created me so wrong? No, He didn't create it so wrong. The point that you're missing is that you are perfect the way you were created. But you do not know who you are. Therefore, you don't know the purpose that God has for you. When you will find out who you are, you will know the purpose that God has for you. And when you know the purpose that God has for you, you will know how to master your environment and your life. And when you know how to master your environment in your life, you will distinguish what to be mad on and what not to be mad on. The man who left you was for good for you, because you were not meant to be together. The lady who left you, it was good for you because you're not meant to be together. I can promise you, if you guys were together, you're gonna be seeing a psychologist every single day. So you're good where you are. You know, you're just good. You know, some people sometimes they think, you know, I don't know, I'm not wealthy. You know, you are. You just don't know how God is saving you from trouble. Well, you know, I love him. I gave him 1 million and then disappear. He got all the million and give it to another lady. Well, you are one. You are not meant to be together. It's very simple. Oh, he gonna do the same thing to you? No, he will not. 10 years after, they have a big family and 7 kids. They were meant to be together. So people don't comprehend how this thing works. It's more spiritual. And I try to bring people to know that. You know that it's not only a physical aspect. You develop that spirituality, that cosmic consciousness, and you will be moving into a way in which you will understand how this thing works and avoid yourself from trouble, and grow up well. Respect people the way they are, and respect the decisions that come in your life as a reality, and face it the way they come, and move on from there with peace and humility. That's what it is. But faith is the key to activate every beneficial aspect that God put in every single person's life. Your faith will make the invisible manifest into the visible. You can see with your faith, you can see how the angel can move around. The higher celestial being can move around, start touching, and because of your faith. It is an activator. But the secret into your faith is you have to eliminate any cloud. When I mean cloud, it means envy, jealousy, anger, rejection, revenge. Because when you have those things in your heart, you are worshiping those gods. Because the God you're going to pray is the God that don't have the stuff. So the Holy Spirit will not allow you to have direct contact with him. So you're going to pray and you're going to have an answer based on who you truly are from inside. Because you have those clouds there. You cannot go and pray for the Holy Father, the God Almighty, who is superior being, and you go there with all those anger, jealousy, and envy and revenge, and you say to God, I have a right because that man hurt me or that lady hurt me. You have no right. When it comes to the presence of God, you have no right at all. If somebody have told you that, please know he misled you. if you go to pray with those stuff in your heart, your prayer going to be exactly like that. That is the path to build a good faith in order for you to activate the benefit that God has for you and every other thing. People are going to say, what about you? You've been driving that 1994 Camry. You have nothing to do with that. Because that's how the first people are going to be saying. I know that already. But because they don't understand everything I've been talking here. My 1994 is exactly the proof of my faith. Because I am content and happy about what I have, including what I do not have, or what I have reached to have. That is called faith. Do you understand what I mean? So with faith, you cannot judge people from what you see. Only judge people what you see. You have to go deeper than that. So when you go and pray with God, and in your heart, you have to say, I'm married to have a 1994, a 2012 car. I'm married, he didn't supposed to have more than me. You go there with some selfish thing in your heart. I have to have revenge because you have done this to me. I can, even if all your family were killed, I can tell you, God will tell you, you're not the one to remember God, how heavy that is in your heart. You're the last person to remind God about that. He knows. He actually feels the pain that you have more than yourself. So, but when you go there to pray, don't go there with revenge. Because when you go there with revenge, you're acting like Lucifer is telling you, respond back. And when you do that, God will say, I'm not part of this. Go and do what you got to do. When you're done, and then pay some good price, and then you get some good maturity and maturity out of it. Maybe you come back to your normal senses, and then you're going to be praying well. And maybe I will respond to you. So, as heavy as you can be, as your heart can be dark, you have to cleanse your heart first before you go and pray, to improve your faith, to improve your vertical relationship with the heaven, the higher civilization. If you go there with dark heart revenge, you think bad about someone, you have done someone, wrong to someone. If you don't repent it the same time, the same day, you're saying, hey, I've done this, I'm taking it off. Before you even start praying, I take it off. I don't want that in my heart. I'm going over there neutral, happy, like nothing happened. You don't go there and start saying to God, what he did to me. They put poison in my food. Now I'm sick. Now I don't know what to do. I just want to kill them. God, you see, I just want you to show me how maybe I can get the poison and also put in their food so they can die too. I'm telling you, you're talking and it's going into the air. Exactly the way you're talking. They're going to be looking at you and say, what is wrong with this one? That's not the way you have to approach. You go there, you cleanse your heart. When you cleanse your heart is completely cleansed. You know that they feel your pain. You don't have to remember them anything about how you feel. You can tell them how to feel, but don't do like you reminded them that they don't know. Because when you start doing that, it's like you're doubting who they are. You're doubting God. That's what you're doing. That's the thing that most of us miss. We're going over there with all those anger inside. I wish that guy is done. I don't like to see him. He's pissed me off, you know. And then you go to prayer. You say to God, I know you always help me. Actually, I have $100,000 a year. It means you like me? No, no, big mistake. Do not be confused with what the universal love balance is doing to your life, to your love and relationship with God. In your present existence, previous existence, you suppose, based on this existence as it was written in your folder, you're supposed to have what you have. But the way you're responding now will determine how your life will be tomorrow and after tomorrow, and may affect what you're supposed to have. So you do not, there's no correlation between what you possess and your love and relationship with God. Don't make that correlation. The correlation is who you truly are from inside out. How you love people, how you interact with people, how you want the well-being of everyone. When you go and pray and have a cleansedness in your heart, your prayer will go accordingly. And because your heart is the center that lay out all the electromagnetic beneficial energy that are needed to trigger that bond and correlation with the Holy Spirit, the higher intelligence. And the way it come, they know that is not a good energy. It's full of darkness. It will not even reach the kingdom of God. I can promise you that. They will be directed somewhere else. It's like you have impurity coming from the air. It is the way heaven is designed. I'm telling you, that's the way it's designed. Any negative energy, don't go there. That's why we have that distance that we have with the Holy Father. It is the main reason. And I'm here to ask people, despite how people sees me, I manifest what I manifest, but my heart is always cleansed. And I say to people, I better show a dark face to a person. When I say dark face, is a metaphor, like a form of metaphor, saying a face that do not convey with people, the society. But I better have that kind of face than having a dark heart. So I prefer to have a clean heart and have a ugly face, like, you know, he's rude or something like that. It's all right. I better to be judged as a rude to a man like me than being judged rude by God. Keep sending negative energy to his kingdom and expecting him to do something good for me. I have envy and jealousy and all these compacted in my heart, and I want revenge, and I am mad about somebody. I want him to be dead, you know, to whatever my ego is doing in my brain. And I'm saying I want to pray. You don't know what kind of energy you are releasing going up. That's why they call dark energy, and that will not reach the heaven. It will not enter. it will not enter. Trust me, the heaven is pure in all corner from any negative energy. Because negative energy represents evil. So that's something we must learn today. And instead of people working on it, they are looking other people why they are more. No, it is you. You can also do that. You can do the same. So cleanse your heart and do good before you can make your prayer, and you're gonna see some improvement on that. So now it is time to eat well, to exercise well, and to elevate the level of your consciousness to the existence of the Almighty Elohim Yahweh, and also to master your environment according to the principle and standard of law and laws. If you are able to do that, you will have a more better life. And people are saying to me, well, don't isolate yourself from people, or well, let me say something to you. I explained this before. You don't force yourself into a relationship. You don't live in a sky where people don't know how to get in touch with you. I'm not the invisible God. Even the invisible God, people should know how to get in touch with you. It is called prayer. Like you have Facebook here and Twitter and LinkedIn. Prayer should also be another network to get in touch with the heaven. Oh, let me tab into the prayer tab. Prayer tab. People should even create stuff like that. What is this kind of Facebook that, you know, the other party is unknown? It doesn't have any picture. Yeah, that's who God is. He hide from all of you, not because he's not there, he's there, but he's testing your faith. Those that recognize him will come to him. He's there. God don't go to every single door and say, knock, knock, knock. He's God. I know you have abandoned me for a very long time, and I really want you to start praying. You will never, ever, 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 ever see God do that. If you see an angel do that, please call prayer in heaven so that they can send 911 to arrest that demon. Because that will not be an angel from God. Do that favor. If you stay there and believe that, you will see God come and knock your door and say, please, it has been a very long time, 20 years, you forgot about me. Please, nah, he's not gonna do that. He's waiting you at the end of your journey, because he know he is the terminal. He's the terminal. You're gonna do everything you want to do. At the end, you're gonna be him. So he doesn't panic. He's there, he's watching. So that's the same way I do my stuff. I stay in my corner. Those who wanted to get to know me, they will come. They don't come, they are not people I have to deal with. Because when you start knocking on the door, you are forcing relationship, and you're going to knock on the door of Lucifer himself. Yeah, I'm God. Lucifer, you run away from me for a long time. The same people will be the one who are going to come and trouble your life once more. So when you stay in your corner, God knows He stay in His corner. Those who are going to acknowledge Him will be the right one. When you function in a way God function, you have no problem. You know you're walking out there with your head on. Whatever people think, it is their thinking. It will not affect who you are. But you try to impress those people, you will find yourself impressed, because all your relationship will end up the way it was made. Well, yeah, I'm very impressed by myself. I'm failing every single time going with this relationship. That's exactly what's gonna happen. So, but if you stay tenacious, you stay where you are, you will see how the people that were meant to be in your path will come accordingly with pure heart for your support. That's how I function. So when people try to interpret other people's life, they have to understand who are there talking to, and what kind of case are they examining, and in what basis they are doing their adjudication. Because when you are wrong in your right, you'll be wrong in your answer, because your basis will not be right. You might have all the proper information, but your analogy is wrong. That will lead you to a wrong answer. It is very simple. If you have an equation of x plus x, and they're telling you that the true x plus x was 2, and you use 4 or 5 or 7 or 6, you have the wrong answer, even if you use the correct methodology. So you have to know the right facts. Know the right facts, so that when you put everything together, you have the correct picture. If you have facts all over the place that are not correct, you're going to have the wrong picture. Even if you use the correct process. I stand where I stand because I live my life according to God's divine advice. People are telling me, you wanted to know the truth. You go and you open the Bible and you read, and then you can ask advice to people. I respect that, but was that the right answer, or the only answer? No, it's not. The true answer is to tap with the Holy Spirit, with God. That's where you're going to have the truth. You're going to have advice to people. You're going to ask advice to 1 billion people. You're going to have 1 billion different advice. And I hope that you have the brain of God to find the correct one. Because by the time you get the correct one, you're going to be 6 feet below. So the best way is to build your personal relationship with the divine being, because that's the correct advice, the true advice that will save you time and save you from suffering. Well, suffering is not always a bad thing, because it is part of life for improvement, for a better purpose, higher purpose, preparation for a higher purpose. But it will save you from unwealthy suffering, because they are unwealthy suffering. Well, I'm going to jump into this place because I'm mad. You jump and you broke your feet and you start crying. That's unhealthy thought. You didn't have to do that. Oh, I'm driving my car. I'm so pissed. You go and knock people the car, and then you start paying freaking your insurance company increase. That's unhealthy suffering. You cause it because you were put in a situation of trial and you panic. Yeah, I'm so pissed right now. I'm gonna drink all those pills. I just wanted to pass out. It pissed me off. And you drink those pills. The next time you are at the intervention resuscitation unit. That's unhealthy suffering. You're tested and you failed the test. But God put you in trial, and Lucifer came and you can take those pills all together. You'll be good. In addition to that, you can also take some more higher drugs and stuff like that. It will help you, and then that's what happened. So it will save you time when you go to God, and it will save you unhealthy suffering. The suffering I'm talking about here that are true are suffering that you do everything right, but things don't come out right. You do everything right, but things don't come out right. That is the suffering intended at the primordial thought by God, because they want you to improve and nurture yourself for something bigger. That's the kind of suffering I'm talking about. You don't take your car and jump into into the bridge and go into water and start saying God allowed it to happen. No, you force God to allow it to happen. If God put in trial, you're mad, and Lucifer come and say, you know what, to get off of this madness, just seize your life right now. Seize your life right now. That God don't like you. Seize your life right now. You jump and go down there and say, God, no, you force yourself into the situation. So those are kind of unhealthy suffering. That's what it is. So I am here sitting there. I have self-esteem through my challenges that I have in reality and suffering. But I do know that those suffering are for improvement, for a higher purpose. So I have no panic. I said somebody say, oh well, he's waiting for a call. No one will call him. Do I care? Gabriel and Daikon, Adal, Prayer, and the angels start manifesting around me. I don't know about you. Maybe you have to do that prayer 1 million times in order for you to get what I'm getting. So at least somebody's answering my call. You see, everybody have advantage and disadvantage. That's how life is. You might be there in your room with 100 million women. I might be in my room with 100 million angels. Everybody have advantage and disadvantage, just the way you work it out. Work it out. Well, he gonna be there. He's by himself. Since you've been there with people, how happy you have been. You tell me how happy you have been for all those time. You should have been very miserable to come out, to comment about miserable thing, because only people who are desperate can waste their time talking about miserable stuff. Why you so concerned about somebody don't gonna receive a call? How luciferic that ideology is. My call don't come from ISOS or ISO, how do they call them? If I'm waiting a call from somebody important for my life, what does that matter to you? No, you try to remind me your life as you've been rejected in your past, and you're so pissed that I'm progressing accordingly, and you don't like it. Well, you know what to do. You cleanse your heart and find a way. Because this guy right here will go nowhere. I am stuck here with you, my friend. It means you will see the face you don't like to see for a very long time. It means somebody have to go. It's probably gonna be you, not me. Well, this is my land. I was here. Who told you it was? You end up here. I also end up here. The only thing we gotta do together is to follow the law. That's all. It's very simple. Well, he have a miserable life. Who don't? You have to be too much miserable to say about somebody having a miserable life. Because somebody who's out there who have many good problems, don't worry about other people problem because they have enough problem their own. So exactly that miserable people talking about miserable thing. Now we're gonna see what he's gonna be eating today. We hope he eat beans and rice every single day. How we even think that he doesn't even have money to put gas in his car, so he's stuck. You're gonna see normal people talking about stuff like that. There are so sick people out here that really need to go and see psychiatrists and psychologists to help them because they have problems. And for some reason, they believe that they don't have any problems. You tell me, a normal person, we're gonna stay out there and start wishing someone not to have money to put gas in his car to drive. What waste of time. With that energy that you lost, you should have gone over there and save somebody else's life. This is it's just critical thinking and logical thinking theory that I'm putting right here. Yeah, we want that guy to fail because he think that life is so simple and so easy. Who told you life is so simple and so easy? At the age of 9, I was put on the street to find money. Had to understand how life is. I didn't enjoy my youth life like many people. My youth life was on construction zone. It means I was always there working for something, retailing or selling or doing something. So from my early age, I knew life is not easy because I have to work under the sun the entire day so I can raise fund. How are you gonna come and convince somebody like me who's 35-year-old today that life I thought that life was simple? Who told you that? I made you seem like life is simple because I grew up long time ago. I learned how not to complain because when you complain, it will move you nowhere. You can express yourself to help you move on. That's what it is. So when I stay calm and quiet, people think, oh well, he get hammer, he get diminished. No, I became a master of myself and the environment. You knowledgeable person. I hope so. I hope. I'm sorry that you missed that. I understand how things goes. It's not by responding that I will prove that I'm someone. It's by acting right. So I stand alone in what I do. I stand alone in what I believe. But I believe alone is by what can be seen. And I'm truly not alone. I'm here with my angelic friend. That can also be your friend if you allow them. Oh yeah, they are ghosts. God is also a ghost. What is a ghost? Open the dictionary. It's something that you imagine have a perception of existence, or an individual that do not exist into this dimension and have a different appearance, or a person that not exist in this dimension anymore. So even God is a ghost because you can't see him. They try to remind you their life, their story. They can't do it, so they have to sack other folks. That's what it is. And the same folks gonna be going out there, oh God, please help me, and pray at night. Take off that vest that you have in your heart, clean it up, and then now make your prayer. Make your prayer. Hate, jealousy, revenge, all the above are not part of God's characteristic. If you have that, know that you are serving a different God. Through my agency, to my company, the Charity Medical Foundation and International Clinic Incorporated, I am calling people to go and look into what I have to offer, my program, and see how they can be partner and donate what they can't. Not be resilient and procrastinate and be content because they don't like the folks. It's not about me, it's about the purpose of the Holy God. You don't like me? I will not last too long. I will not last forever in this earth. You don't like my present company program? It will not last forever. It will be taken over by a next generation. But if you deny this company, you'll be denying the purpose of God. and that will last forever. Let me repeat again. If you don't like me, I will not last forever in this earth. If you don't like my company as structure, it will not last for long because it will be replaced by the next generation. But if you don't assist this company, you'll be rejecting the lasting purpose and divine purpose of God. And that will last forever. It's not about me. It's not about you. It's about glorifying the purpose of God the way it was intended and predetermined at the primordial thought. To balance the universe energy patterns as predetermined. Help the poor, improve our social and healthcare system, bring up new ideology and system thinking that will innovate and improve and bring up life transformation globally, worldwide, enhance a sense of peace and progress around the world, assist people to be innovative in order to transform their own communities, eradicate disease from third country to the poorest one around the world, fight for a sense of equity and rationale in in terms of distribution of wealth around the world, fight for social inequality. Those are stuff that my company is working on according to God's standard principle and law. But people just don't have any clue how blessed they would be by only donating even a single penny. That will not go to ISOS. That will not go to ISO. My company existed before ISO existed. So I'm asking people to look into my life and look into what's going on and comprehend this, that it is God testing us. This is not a simple matter as people think. It will not end up either as people think. I can promise you that now. I'm not saying that it will end up bad, but it will not end up as people think. This is a promise. The only thing you can do with God is not to believe Him and believe His promise. That is the kind of lack of faith that can lead you away from Him. So through that, I said, this matter will not happen the way people think it will happen. As the clockwork is unfolding according to God's plan and design. The company have innovative ideas for medical improvement, pharmaceutical improvement, and innovative technology. I will say today, for the first time, I am in contact with the people of the higher civilization of the heavens as some people here in this earth, such as the Vaticans, they know who I am. I don't have the wealth that some people have here, but I have what they need to communicate with me. So this is the first time I'm saying this, because many people have been wondering where I've been getting my information from. I just told you. That cannot be purchased. That is from the grace of God. So it is beneficial for people to work with me than hurting me. Let me repeat it again. It is beneficial for people to work with me than hurting me, because working with me will enhance a better atmosphere for the growth of the spiritual gift I possess to help humanity, to help the United States and the world, Africa, and myself. So that is something that people have not seen. They've been thinking about any kind of worst thing about me, but missing that simple point. Because for them, it cannot be. But for God, it is. And if God says so, we are wasting our time. So let's work together to move on for a common purpose and make some life transformation. Thank you very much. And I wish that people will go on my website and look and read what I have. And I have everything there for people to contact me and to get in touch with me. Thank you very much. And I said before, I am not a priest, I'm not a pastor, I'm not a prophet, I'm not an imam or rabbi. I am Gabriel Ndikon, chairman and founder of the CM Fit Global Consulting for medical, pharmaceutical, and innovative technology according to God's plan, purpose, standards, and laws. Simple as that. So let's work together and do the impossible in our eyes, but possible for the higher intelligence, the higher Almighty God who possess, who create, who design, who engineer everything that is seen as well as unseen, and who control this entire universe and globe, who give life and take life, and give life and take life. So the Charity Medical Foundation is there to bring the time and the moment of truth. Thank you for listening. Auf Wiedersehen. Au revoir, muchacho. A plus. And I hope I'll see you active into the process of joining the organization, the CAMFOOT, Charity Medical Foundation and IT Inc. Thank you very much and have a wonderful Sunday through prayer. Build up your personal relationship with the divine being. Respect all religions for those who follow God's word, principle and standard, the God of love and acceptance and inclusion. And know that he have a way to do his stuff that are different, that is different from our way, and make us sometimes confused. Thank you very much.